Happy Monday. Happy Motivational Monday. And welcome back to another Colorful Keto with Dori. So today we are getting together with Dr. Serrano of Bajamed, and we're going to talk a little bit about getting your healthcare out of the country. What does that look like? Why is it more popular? What difference does that make for you as a patient? So I'm super excited. If you guys are new here, we have Dr. Serrano come join us generally once a month so that we can talk about different health and wellness issues. Aha, there you are. So if you want to send me a join request, I think we have less issues connecting if you send the request. There we go. And then hopefully we won't do sideways. It's a Monday. I love doing this on Monday. Yay! Hello!
Hey, Larry. How are you?
Look at how prepared I am. I'm at the right height.
No, you beat me to the punch.
Hello! Happy Monday!
Happy Monday. How are you?
I'm amazing. It's finally warmed up here in Canada, and I don't feel like I have to kick people.
-5.
Yeah. We're going to get pluses next week. What?
Wow.
Look out, California.
Well, today it's like about 65 degrees Fahrenheit for us. So
oh, you just hush up, you?
Chilly side.
It's a little chilly.
Just a tad.
Oh, so why don't you introduce yourself to start, and then we have a whole list of questions to discuss today. I'm super excited to get going.
Yes, so a lot of pretty neat things to go over. So I'm Jorge Serrano. I'm the medical director at Bajamed Group, and so we are a medical practice located in Tijuana, Mexico. We've been in the whole medical travel side of things for just a little over a decade now, and we're very happy to offer our services to the world when it comes to specialties like orthopedic surgery, spine surgery, plastic surgery, in vitro fertilization, bariatric surgery, immunotherapy for cancer. So we have a very wide range of procedures and treatments that we can offer to our patients. And so, like I said, we've been seeing patients from all over the world for a while now, so we're very well versed in this subject matter.
Well, and for anyone who's new to my page, I was one of your first Canadian patients. So you and I have been friends for a long time. I want to say we're coming up on 10 years since I had my gastric sleeve.
I've been lucky enough to have all your joyfulness and positive vibes on my side for a while now. So yes, we've you were actually one of the first Canadians that came over to our neck of the woods, and you know, ever since it has snowballed, we see a lot of patients from Canada, and I think, well, Canadians make up the majority of our foreign patients.
Yes.
And we love it. We love it. I mean, we have great experiences with Canadians, Americans, and, you know, Europeans as well.
So let's start out with, why would you travel out of country to have medical care? Let's kind of start there, because I think a lot of people aren't even really aware that this is an option for them.
Yes, so the medical travel, or medical tourism as it's known, started with a lot of patients that were traveling abroad for cheaper plastic surgery. Okay, I think that's where it kicked off. And so some good things and some bad things that came about from that, and we started learning some valuable lessons where, you know, sometimes cheaper was not necessarily better. And so more and more people were aware of people that were traveling for plastic surgery abroad, and then they realized that there were orthopedic surgeons, spine surgeons, fertility specialists that were, you know, just as capable, if not even more capable than some of their doctors that they were used to seeing, and, you know, while paying a fraction of the cost. Okay, and so in for different people, there are different reasons in regards to why to travel. One of the things is availability of certain treatments, therapies, or surgeries. Number two is going to be just the wait times. So a lot of the Canadians that we see are coming over to see us because the wait times are much, much shorter. So I just finished the video consultation just before I hooked up with you right now. He's from Calgary, and he needs knee surgery. And so he wanted to come over and see us tomorrow. Okay, so
I'll be there tomorrow.
I told him, hold on. I mean, our wait times can be anywhere from 3 to 6 weeks. And
yes.
So we told him that we could fit him in at the end of February because thankfully we've been pretty busy. Our first surgery on a Canadian was on January 3rd. So we've been very busy since the year began, thankfully. And thanks to patrons like you, Dori, that help us spread the word of what we do. And so those are the main reasons why a foreign patient will travel to see us.
Well, and for me personally, I traveled for two reasons. One, the surgery that I wanted wasn't available in Canada then, and the lesser surgery that was available costs about 3 to 4 times as much for me to have done here. So for me, that was the deciding factor, was availability and cost. So if you're struggling and you need to have something done and you think, you know what, I have to wait 5 years, it's going to cost me $30,000, it might not.
Correct.
It might not.
That's correct. So I'm glad you mentioned that because, yes, the finances will be more agreeable. And what's important to say is that if you have a procedure here, it's going to be more affordable, not necessarily cheaper. They're two very different things. And as you know, we don't sacrifice quality at all. So quality of care is not something that's compromised with us. And so, unfortunately, when people are researching, sometimes they focus a lot on price. Now, I always tell patients, we're probably not going to be the cheapest in the area, but just because we're, there are a lot of good physicians in our practice that are, in the top of their tier. And so, that comes with a cost. And so some patients will say, well, I got this proposal in such and such town and, it cost me, $5. And your quote is $4. So it's not that big of a difference. But then we tell them, okay, well, why don't you compare that with, for example, the top surgeon in the Calgary area? Then you're going to start seeing big differences. And so, we like to think that we compare to the people that are in the big leagues.
Oh, and you do. I've never seen healthcare like I received from you. And I don't want to bash Canadian healthcare because it is what it is. I don't want to complain. It is. It's fantastic.
And I will say this, and so I'm glad you mentioned it. I'm not trying to imply that there is a difference in quality amongst doctors. I think Canadian doctors are extremely fantastic physicians, but they're, I think, overworked and underpaid in some cases. And so I have fantastic relationships with many doctors in Canada, physiotherapists, rehab specialists, acupuncturists. And one of our talking points is precisely that, which we'll get to in a sec. But, we've had the luck of being able to chat with important figures in the healthcare industry in Canada. And so that just says that our thoughts are aligned. But sometimes, the public healthcare system demands so much of them that they don't have the time to spend with patients as much as they would like to.
Well, and from my personal experience, I would say that's the major difference that I noticed, is that your staff is very attentive. They really spent the time to talk to me, and I've never really felt like a doctor had time to talk to me before. We're sort of raised that way. Doctor's time is really important, and you don't get much of it. And, if you can squeeze out what you want to ask in the 5 minutes they're there, quick, don't forget. And I never had that feeling at your facility like I'd forgotten to ask something and now I wasn't going to get to ask. It just, I never felt that stress, I guess, is the easiest way to explain that. When you're in that situation and you know you only have a few minutes with the doctor, you know you're not going to remember everything. You're not. And I think as a patient, it's a very stressful feeling to feel like you got to get it all in or you're not going to know what you need to know. So I really appreciate the time that your staff took to explain everything so thoroughly. And this reads right into where we're going next, and that's your new collaborations that you're putting together and why that's important. So we want to talk a little bit about that today.
Yeah, sure. And just to compliment a little bit about what you said right now, yes, I mean, when people see us, there's some level of anxiety built up, maybe even fear, and that's just how that when you want to scare a little boy, you tell him, "I'm going to take you to the doctor and get a shot," and so unfortunately that we're like bad guys sometimes, but I mean, we try to make it a point to open ourselves up to patients. That's why we have these consultations, and some patients, specifically Canadians, will get a little shocked that they have so much face time with us. And so that's on all 17 of our specialists that are there with the bedside manner to be able to, maybe catch a small detail or something that'll make a difference in the therapy and the surgery or whatnot. And the only way to get to know your patient is to spend time with her or with him. And so we make it our top priority to have the FaceTime with patients in order to get to know you better, to build a solid relationship, because it's been studied over and over again. And the more you spend time with your patients, the better the more your patient is going to follow instructions, the better off the results are going to be, the more compliant the patient will be. The list goes on and on. Okay. Now, to answer your question, what you just made right now. So yes, we have, like I said, formed some very important partnerships with facilities in the U.S. and in Canada. And so we've had the fortune of kind of lady luck pointing us toward Canada. And so we formed a very important relationship with LifePath. And they are based out of Calgary, Chestermere area. And they're quickly expanding. Their vision of healthcare is amazing and one that we agree with wholeheartedly.
Yes.
They have huge hearts there, and they really care about the patient. And so I think that's why we converged. And so we formed a partnership not too long ago that was about 6 or 7 years in the making, to be honest with you. And so the stars aligned, and last year we got that all set up. And so now we're actually seeing patients from their patient lists that they have that need back surgery, that need their knees looked after, their hips to have something done, and so on and so forth. I mean, we've seen patients that had cancer or have cancer and they're being treated with immunotherapy. So more novel approaches to cancer, for example. We have patients interested in our fertility specialty. So, I mean, all of a sudden you tell these patients you have all of these options, and you don't have to break your savings account to get them. So it's a fair price, and it will, you can actually have what you want to have done. So. And I'm sure I'll give you the information so you can post it below on Terry and Blythe, which are the ones that are spearheading this program. And Dr. Jed Snatic is the CEO, the founder, and his vision is amazing. I mean, he's just a fantastic human being that has helped a lot of people in your area with procedures free of charge, pro bono, charity. I mean, he's a solid person. And we also have another partnership with the Kensington Group, which is based out of Calgary.
Nice.
And basically a wellness center as well, spearheaded by Dr. Gordur. And so it's brought a lot of very important opportunities for some of his patients, along with his wife's patients. And we are just about to finalize another one, so I can't mention the name, but it's one of the largest private providers in Western Canada. So this is the big one. It's a big deal. And
Nice.
I was just chatting with the doctor on Saturday and on Sunday. I mean, that's how excited we are. We're just like little kids saying like, wow, this is like a huge thing that we can offer to our patients. And so the fact that there are more and more physicians that are welcoming this idea of like Doctors Without Borders, so to speak, but
Yes.
not the organization, but the
Yes.
fact that, we live in the same body of land.
Yes.
And I mean, the fact that something can be right or wrong when you all of a sudden are going through customs almost makes no difference to somebody that needs medical care. And so that's where we have to look at our humanistic side and do whatever we can to improve the health of our patients. And so those are some of the groups that we've formed the strong alliances with and that have helped us grow. And at the same time, we help them grow and help their patients get healthier.
And the beauty of this means you're going to be coming to Canada regularly. Yay!
Yes. And so I was there in October.
Yes.
And so I'm going to be, there was already snow on the ground when I was there. And so I'm going back in March. And I'm going to be there from March 24th to March 28th. And so the big days are going to be the 25, 26, and 27. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing some seminars at Life. And we're basically going to be splitting them up into, for example, a spine surgery seminar or spine procedure seminar, orthopedic surgery and or orthopedic ailments, IVF, immunotherapy for cancer, plastic surgery and bariatric surgery are going to be some of the big ones as well. So Blythe and Terry at LifePath are doing some of the working on the agendas on seeing how they're going to work out the best at the times. And so, I mean, to make this how we're used to, in an organized and professional manner, these girls are going to be working on this so that when we're about a week or two away, we'll have everything set up, but the whole planning phase, I'm sure when we hook up again in February, we're going to have a better idea so that you can, publish these for your audience and let them know we're going to be there. It's completely free of charge. And so what we're doing is we're basically telling people, we're going to be going around and with like showing one of these guys and saying, so like, if you have a problem here, this is what we can do for you. And so more like awareness. And we're more of Q&As as opposed to having a PowerPoint in the back and, making it boring and having somebody sleep on your lecture. No, we want to make it more interactive and have even like some of your lights on the background so that we can keep the people as interested as possible.
Yes, and I will be bringing my people live. I'm going to book that time off so I can hang out with you guys, and I will broadcast those as lives for my people who can't come and meet us locally.
Fantastic.
But we're also going to arrange something, I think, just for some of my ladies who want to get together, who have some questions for you.
Yes.
I'm going to put some feelers out and see if we can do an evening where we can get together and, just chit-chat with the ladies, because I know some of us need stuff. Like, we need some consults.
I think that's great, because when you're in a small group, it makes it more intimate, and you're able to ask more questions. And usually, we stick around at the end to be able to answer sometimes personal questions. Or after that, we can schedule video conferences where we're one-on-one, and we can actually get some of these hashed out. But yeah, I would be elated to.
What do we have on our list today? So we want to talk about how does this really benefit patients? Because I think that having that connection with local medical care would really open up the world for a lot of patients.
Huge. It makes all the difference in the world. One of the main concerns that a Canadian patient has is, what is my doctor going to think? Is he going to kick me out of his office when this happens? Or what are they going to say? Are they going to agree with this or not? And so these people that we're partnered with have seen our facilities, and they see that it's a hospital, well equipped, very well equipped, the latest technology. You can see them in our social media. I mean, we're one of the few courageous ones that do Facebook Lives in our OR because, we trust our process, right?
Yes.
And so the doctors that are involved with us, the therapists, the healthcare professionals in general, they know that we're doing this for the right reasons. And so they will wholeheartedly take you on as a patient or help you, or if you have to have, for example, sutures removed, that can be done. If you need follow-up care, or if you are kind of fearing if something is right or if something is normal or abnormal, you can go to these healthcare professionals that will help us bridge that connection. So the whole point of this is to have, that we are vetted and we are, checked by these healthcare professionals, and, they know it's not a scam, right? And that you're not going to land in San Diego and there's going to be nobody there to pick you up and, somebody ran away with your check. That's not the case. And so, which is a fear, obviously, of some patients. And so the fact that they can come with that confidence and know that when they go back to Canada, they are going to be looked after by their physicians, it makes all the difference in the world, because healthcare doesn't begin when we do that last suture in the OR. It goes on for a long time. And so we are very committed with follow-up with our patients. And so we connect with our patients after surgery with FaceTime, Skype video, whatever. We'll do it. The point is connecting and having that line of communication open. And so knowing that that's a part of the whole process, it increases credibility and it increases the trust factor. And so the fact that, let's say, patient Jane Smith, went back to one of our partners and said, hey, you know what, can you guys help me? I'm not very technologically savvy. Can you help me set up a consultation with one of the doctors? And that's the whole point, to make this easier and make ourselves available for patients, even though we're a couple thousand miles away, that's not an impediment, and that you can actually get treated in a timely manner.
I love that. So let's wrap up with, what are the wait times like in comparison? Because I know that lots of times in Canada or the States, you'll have a 6-month or a year or a 2-year wait for something like a hip replacement or a back surgery or a knee surgery, sometimes more if you need a specialist.
Yeah, we had a 40-year-old patient that said that he went to, or somebody told him, come back when you are in a wheelchair, or come back in your 60s, which is when you are the right patient. And so we believe in quality of life. Okay, that's what we believe in. And so if a 40-year-old patient, for example, who we just did surgery on, said, nobody wants to see me, but I am in a lot of pain. And so we performed the surgery, and then he just sent us this very heartfelt message, an email that said, I can't believe this is what no pain feels like. Thank you guys. And it was just a long email, but it's the best thing a patient can do for us, right? And so wait times are, 4 to 6 weeks, 8 in some cases. Usually our busier times of the year are January to April, and then again about October to December. Okay. Those are very busy times. And so, and the summer also, just because a lot of, when the kids are in break. Yeah. So, we have the ups and downs, but sometimes when a case is an urgent matter, we find a way. Okay. So, that's the great thing about being involved in private practice. When you're in private practice, you can, play around with your dates a little in your calendar. And Michelle, Liz, Elijah here in our office, they're fantastic, and they can make it work, because there are a lot of people here behind the scenes that make everything work. And so, there are some cases that need acute attention, and so we're happy to do that if we can.
Well, and I love all of the staff at your clinic. They're all just above, right up there, amazing. And I think when I refer someone to call you, what they're most surprised about is that within 24 hours, a doctor will call them back. They get to actually talk to a real doctor about their issues and their questions.
Yeah, so one of the commitments that we have is to try to, we say that between 24 and 48 hours, you can have a medical professional contacting you. Obviously if it's on the weekends, it can vary a little, but usually, let's say if we get an inquiry, which we got a few this morning, Michelle was able to schedule some consultations for tomorrow. Okay, and so I mean, obviously it's on depending on the agenda, but no more than 48 hours usually, because that's when you've committed as a patient that you want to do this, and then if you're going to be seen in a week, well, kind of the interest kind of starts fading away.
Yeah. Well, we super appreciate your time, and we can't wait for you to come to town in March.
Well, I'm very excited to be there. I was hoping that it was going to be maybe a little less cold, but February is the colder month, so hopefully by the end of March it's not that bad.
It might not be, so I'll cross my fingers for you. But I'm not going to make any promises because we still had snow at the end of April last year. So
yeah, and then it's when it gets slushy and I've been there.
But I promise we won't let you freeze. You might need to buy a parka.
I'll take my coats. Okay. But super excited to see you guys, Dori. So let me know again if somebody in your audience has questions or they reach out to you. We'll be more than happy to chat with them.
Yes.
And in all the major specialties that we have. And so, and by the way, our website is going through a complete overhaul. Hopefully by the end of next week we have that. You were able to help us choose the new refreshed look.
I'm so excited.
And so that's going to be up, and it's on social media now, and so the whole overhaul for the website, a week tops.
Nice. And you know what, let's end out on that. What social media can people find you on? Because I will tell you, I love that you are accessible on social media. It feels so much different than to have to call the office, to have to wait for a call back, to know that you can go online and get the information that you want, at least the beginning information.
Right. Yeah, so the majority of our patients will contact us through Facebook Messenger usually.
Okay.
And so that's, somebody's there about 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., sometimes even later. Facebook or Instagram messaging as well.
Okay.
WhatsApp is big. Skype is big. But if we stick to social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, the basics are there. And so, yeah, you can reach us. And we have 800 numbers. So, we're very, very accessible.
We love it, and we can't wait to hang out. Thank you so much for your time this month, and we'll hang out again next month.
Yes. All right, Dori. And we'll have more information about that March visit, okay?
So excited. I can't wait. And let me know when your website's ready. I got to share it everywhere.
Will do. Take care.
Have a great day.
Fantastic week.
Bye. Okay. There we go. Happy Monday, guys. I'm so excited. I can't believe that we're going to get to hang out with Dr. Serrano regularly live. So if you guys did miss it, I will add in the description when he came down in October, some of the stuff that we did at Life Path Wellness, and the in-person live that we did in October. So I hope you guys have an amazing day. I hope you are ready for the week, and I'll see you soon. Have an awesome day, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Bye.